Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
Hey Todd, let's just start with your thoughts on the game that we saw this evening.
Yeah, clearly nobody in that room right now is happy with that result. It's frustrating to put your finger on a few of the things that is plaguing us right now. I'm a firm believer that a big portion of it is confidence, because we've now seen it, with 5 minutes left in that Dundee game, a game that we played well in up to a point, and lost it. And then tonight, it happened much earlier in the game at the halfway mark, and we find ourselves where the building was excitement. We were up 2-0. A silly turnover on a half wall, something that we've really worked hard on correcting. Really just hard to recover from, but 7 unanswered goals in your own building. It's tough to see people walk out of the building early. I don't blame them, but tough nonetheless.
First period and the start of the second period, like you said, you get 2 goals up, you go ahead, and it looked like it was going to be a night where the Flyers came out and the Flyers team that the fans want was going to be here. And is it just as simple as that kind of sort of one mistake that turns the game?
Psychologically, I think so. I mean, at 2-0 with 5 minutes left in the second period, or the first period rather, we go and turn a puck over, and it's just something that's unnecessary. It doesn't need to happen. We turn that puck over, and guys seem to really be on eggshells right now, afraid to make that mistake, whereas earlier in the season we were making mistakes, but maybe not as punished so much for them now. A few weaknesses seem to be getting picked out quite astutely, and we're paying the price for it right now.
What's changed between the start of the season and now? Because like you said, those mistakes were getting made. It didn't seem to affect them as much. So what's kind of getting under the skin?
Well, I mean, if you go back to something I said earlier about winning being contagious and losing is exactly the same. We won some games we were firmly in control of. We won some games we probably shouldn't have won. Now in this 6-game losing streak, I firmly believe that a couple of those games, we shouldn't have lost. And there's some games where we have played absolutely terrible. But it becomes habit, and you start waiting for those things. And unfortunately, that's what we find ourselves in right now.
Heading down to Manchester tomorrow to face a team that are also hungry for a win, hungry to kind of sort of turn over the Flyers as well. So what are you expecting from them?
Yeah, very tough game we're expecting. It's in that small building where obviously we have a lot bigger ice surface here. The plays happen a lot quicker. And a game that we lost in the last few minutes of a game down there last time. So we need to become ready to fight our way out of this and do the right things, not just for 55 minutes or 30 minutes, for 60 minutes.
And in terms of the team that you've got at the moment, do you still have the confidence that they can turn this around, or are you kind of sort of looking at other bodies, bringing other bodies from outside?
For a while now. The market hasn't been favorable to us. I think it's apparent that we certainly, it's something that we need to consider doing, and it's something that, I don't want to elaborate on too much, but I'm well aware of. We're not just sitting back and going to meekly accept our fate. We've been in very tough positions with this club before and punched our way out of it. We find ourselves in another difficult situation, and I have to protect my guys psychologically. We have a good club, and it wasn't an accident that we found ourselves so high in this league position. It's a shame what's happening right now, and it's really going to be up to us to fight our way out of it.
And at least certainly from the start of the game, you've got you've got support there in the building that wants to cheer on the fans.
I know they do. Nobody questions that. And I you know what, I really think after the amount of time that I've spent here, you really have your finger on the pulse. I think there's a good correlation between our club right now and our fan base. I think they too are sitting around waiting for bad things to happen, and you can sense that flow in it as well. We're really feeding off each other right now, and it's a frustrating time for all of us right now. I still contend that we have some very, very good hockey players in this team and some very talented individuals. We need to continue to, find ways to bring that work ethic for 60 minutes and doing the right things. I'll give you a little bit of insight about us. So tonight, what happened at the start of the game was they were getting three forwards in behind our forwards right off the initial attack, and Owen had to make a couple good saves. We made an adjustment of stacking on top of that, and when we did that, we were doing well and started to take control of that game, and we had zone time on top of them, and we were really rolling well. But what happens is when an individual shuts off out on the ice and doesn't do his job properly, it's not a bad team, it's a bad individual mistake. But guys feed off that as well, and so does the crowd, because the crowd knew that first goal should not have been scored. It was a weak turnover. And then all of a sudden that team, which is a very good Devils team, building momentum, and they're coming at you in waves. So now guys are trying to do a little bit too much, and instead of doing the right thing, they push forward and refuse to stack, and we called the timeout and tried to reset. And once you do that, it's about trying to individually manage, because you can't halt that progress. And what happened there was the game got away from us. And you know what? I'm very sensitive to what's going on around me in the crowd. And there were some calls to get the younger guys out towards the end of that game. That is 100% the not right situation to put them in there. They've been sitting there for 45 minutes, and to throw them out ice cold against that, it's just not fair to them. We love our young guys. We've now brought in 2 strength and conditioning coaches to work specifically with the young guys to bring them on. We work with them in training every day, but I wouldn't want to dent their confidence by throwing them in that situation. And same with Andrew Little, who shows up for us every game as well. That's something that the guys in the regular spot really need to pay a conscientious effort to and play the right way. Because certainly when you don't, we're getting punished, and it's not acceptable.
The Bay Hotel, where your dream wedding becomes reality. Visit us at thebayhotel.net.